Ever wondered how truly intelligent people choose their words? It's not just about having a vast vocabulary or quick wit. It's about wisdom, restraint, and meaningful communication. Words carry immense power, and the way we frame our thoughts not only reflects our level of intelligence, but also shapes our relationships and influences our path to personal growth. By exploring practical language habits inspired by Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, we can learn how to speak with greater intelligence, empathy, and impact. Communication isn't merely about conveying facts. It's an art that blends logic with emotion, humility with confidence, and self-awareness with curiosity. Intelligent communication goes beyond the simple selection of words. It embodies a mindset of growth, humility, and openness to learning from every interaction. Stoic philosophy reminds us that our words can either hinder or enhance our personal development and relationships. By consciously avoiding limiting phrases and adopting more constructive alternatives, we open doors to continuous learning, deeper connections, and a more resilient attitude toward life's challenges. Consider the common conversational pitfall of responding with, "I already know that." At first glance, this might seem like an innocuous phrase. However, it can unintentionally signal arrogance, close off opportunities for new insights, and hinder the flow of a constructive conversation. Stoic wisdom, particularly from Epictetus, teaches us that true wisdom comes from admitting our limits and maintaining curiosity, instead of dismissing someone's point with a curt, "I already know that." A more intelligent response would be, "That's an interesting point. Tell me more." This approach shows respect for the speaker's perspective, keeps the dialogue open for learning, and fosters a more collaborative and enriching atmosphere. In the hustle of modern life, it's easy to fall into conversational traps without even realizing it, despite living thousands of years ago. Stoic philosophers understood the nuances of human interaction and the lasting impact of our words. Their teachings emphasize virtues like humility, empathy, resilience, and openness, values that are just as relevant today as they were in ancient times. When we align our speech with these values, we handle challenges more gracefully, build stronger connections, and grow as individuals. One of the foundational insights from Stoicism is that our perceptions shape our reality. Marcus Aurelius famously noted, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." This insight encourages us to approach every conversation and situation with a sense of inquiry rather than judgment. Intelligent communication involves deep listening, acknowledging that our knowledge is limited, and being open to ideas that might challenge our assumptions. Every word we choose has a ripple effect. Careless or dismissive remarks can shut down potential for learning and may damage relationships. On the other hand, thoughtful words can inspire others, build trust, and pave the way for collaborative problem-solving. Stoic teachings suggest that our goal should be to speak with intention and clarity, always considering how our words might be received and how they contribute to the conversation. Imagine being in a meeting where a colleague presents an idea you believe you already know or disagree with. The knee-jerk reaction might be to interrupt with, "I already know that," or "That's not going to work." But by pausing and reflecting on Stoic advice, you can transform the conversation. Instead of dismissing the idea, you might respond with, "I'm familiar with that concept. What new angles do you see here?" Such a response acknowledges your colleague's effort, invites further exploration, and potentially uncovers insights you hadn't previously considered. Embracing Stoic principles in our communication involves more than just avoiding certain phrases. It's about adopting a mindset that values growth, empathy, and constructive dialogue in every exchange. This requires self-examination, moderation, and a continuous pursuit of virtue in the way we speak and listen. The ancient wisdom of Stoicism provides a flexible framework for thinking about our actions and words, encouraging us to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Reflecting on the profound idea that everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact, We learn to navigate modern challenges with grace and efficacy. Our goal is to communicate in a way that encourages growth, fosters understanding, and supports resilience. By constantly reminding ourselves of our limitations, we create a space for learning from others, deepening our insights, and building stronger, more empathetic connections. As we journey through the teachings of Stoic philosophers, we'll uncover practical strategies for improving our everyday communication. We'll explore how to respond with humility, show empathy, reframe negative statements, and cultivate a growth mindset. The teachings of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca will serve as guiding lights, helping us replace constricting language with phrases that promote curiosity, resilience, and genuine human connection. Reflect on your own conversational habits. Are there phrases you use that might be inadvertently closing off opportunities for growth or connection? Imagine how a Stoic approach to communication, one that emphasizes openness, inquisitiveness, and empathy, could transform not only the way you speak, but also how you think and interact with the world. By applying these ancient yet timeless principles to modern conversations, we create a fertile ground for learning, collaboration, and personal development. Let the wisdom of Stoic philosophy guide us to speak with greater purpose, listen with empathy, and act with integrity, ultimately leading to a richer and more fulfilling life. Ever wondered how a simple phrase can influence not just a conversation, but the entire tone of our relationships? Let's delve deeper into how avoiding self-centered responses can transform our communication. One common yet limiting expression is "that's not my problem." This phrase, though seemingly harmless, can erect barriers between people and diminish opportunities for empathy and connection. Understanding the impact of "that's not my problem" when someone shares their struggles or seeks advice, replying with "that's not my problem," can feel dismissive and cold. It signals a lack of empathy and a reluctance to engage with shared human experiences. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the interconnectedness of humanity. Our collective well-being is intertwined. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the notion that harming another ultimately harms ourselves, and helping others enriches our own spirit. By distancing ourselves from others' problems, we not only miss the chance to make a positive impact, but we also hinder our personal growth and resilience. Stoicism teaches that we are all part of a greater whole, and understanding this interconnectedness encourages us to move beyond self-interest. The phrase "that's not my problem" shuts the door on compassion, while alternative responses open a window for connection. Instead of dismissing someone's difficulties, an intelligent person might respond with a question like, "How can I help?" or "What can I do to support you?" Such responses demonstrate empathy, a willingness to share in someone else's burden, and a readiness to contribute constructively, even if one cannot solve the issue directly. Empathy and responsibility in practice. Empathetic communication requires that we recognize the value of active listening and offering assistance whenever possible. When a friend, family member, or colleague is facing a challenge, stepping in to provide moral support or practical advice can make a significant difference. Saying "I'm here for you," or "let's figure this out together," transforms the conversation from isolation to solidarity. It reinforces the idea that their struggle is shared, at least in part, and that they are not alone in facing it. Stoic thinkers like Seneca highlighted that kindness and compassion in every interaction can lead to deeper, more meaningful connections. He believed that in every contact, there is an opportunity to demonstrate virtue. By embracing this perspective, we view each conversation as an occasion to practice empathy and extend help, rather than an inconvenience or distraction from our own concerns. The ripple effect of compassionate language. When we choose our words carefully, we create a ripple effect that extends far beyond the immediate conversation. Responding with empathy not only supports the person sharing their problem, but also influences the culture around us. In a workplace, for example, expressing readiness to help colleagues fosters a collaborative environment. It makes others feel valued and understood, encouraging them to reciprocate kindness and support. This kind of positive environment can lead to increased trust, open communication, and a stronger sense of community, all of which are essential for personal and professional growth. Additionally, adopting a helpful attitude can have personal benefits. Compassionate actions and words can enhance our own emotional well-being, reduce stress, and provide a sense of purpose. In Stoic philosophy, contributing to the greater good is seen as a virtue that not only benefits others, but also fortifies our character, helping us become more resilient, wise, and fulfilled individuals. Practical strategies for shifting the mindset. So how can we move away from the mindset of "that's not my problem" toward a more empathetic approach? Here are some practical strategies. Pause and reflect. When someone shares a challenge, pause before responding. Consider whether there is a way to be of assistance, even if it's just lending a sympathetic ear. Ask open-ended questions. Instead of retreating from responsibility, ask questions like, "What can I do to help?" Or, "How are you coping with this situation?" This invites the speaker to share more and signals genuine concern. Offer supportive statements. Simple affirmations like, "I'm here for you," or "It sounds like a tough situation," can validate the speaker's feelings and show that you care. Acknowledge shared humanity. Remind yourself of the Stoic belief that we are all connected. Recognizing that someone else's pain is part of the human experience can foster a deeper sense of empathy. Embrace responsibility. Understand that while you may not be able to solve every problem, offering support is within your power. This attitude creates a positive cycle of giving and receiving help, enhancing collective resilience. Transforming conversations through Stoicism. By consciously choosing words that reflect empathy and willingness to help, we align our actions with Stoic principles. Stoicism encourages us to view challenges not just as individual burdens, but as opportunities to strengthen our community bonds. In doing so, we cultivate virtues like kindness, patience, and understanding, qualities that are central to intelligent and compassionate communication. Next time someone shares their difficulties with you, resist the urge to dismiss their concerns. Instead of thinking "that's not my problem," consider how you might be able to make a difference. Even small acts of kindness, like offering advice, sharing a personal experience, or simply listening attentively, can have a profound impact. This shift in perspective not only benefits others, but also enriches your own character, leading to deeper relationships and a more fulfilling life. In essence, moving away from self-centered responses and embracing empathy is a powerful step towards wiser, more meaningful communication. The wisdom of Stoic philosophers guides us to extend compassion, share in the struggles of others, and build a community where every interaction is an opportunity for growth and connection. Ever wondered how seemingly simple phrases can shape the course of a conversation and affect the quality of our relationships? Another common expression that deserves careful consideration is, "I don't care." While it might seem like a way to save time or energy, this phrase can inadvertently shut down meaningful dialogue and signal a lack of interest or respect for the other person's feelings and experiences. The hidden impact of "I don't care." Saying "I don't care" in response to someone sharing their thoughts, feelings, or experiences often comes across as dismissive and insensitive. It suggests that the speaker values their own perspective far more than engaging with the other person's. In doing so, it cuts off the possibility of deeper understanding and stifles the growth that could arise from a genuine exchange. The Stoic philosophers, particularly Seneca, would urge us to see every moment as an opportunity to act virtuously. One way to do that is by demonstrating respect and attentiveness, even when the subject matter isn't of immediate personal interest. Stoic insights on attentiveness and respect. Seneca famously noted that nature has given us one tongue but two ears, a reminder that we are meant to listen more than we speak. When we say "I don't care," we not only dismiss the speaker's input, but also silence a chance for ourselves to learn and grow. True intelligence lies in recognizing that every conversation, however mundane it might seem, holds the potential for insight, connection, and improvement. Intelligent communication involves an attitude of curiosity and respect. Instead of responding with, "I don't care," an alternative approach is to engage with genuine interest. Phrases like, "That's interesting," "Tell me more," or "How did that make you feel?" invite deeper conversation and show that you value the other person's perspective. This approach fosters trust, builds rapport, and often leads to unexpected learning opportunities. Transforming indifference into engagement. Transforming a dismissive attitude into one of curiosity doesn't require extensive changes. Small, thoughtful adjustments in our responses can make a significant difference. Here are some practical strategies to avoid the pitfall of indifference. Pause and listen actively. When someone is speaking, focus fully on their words, without thinking about how to respond with your own points. Active listening involves giving your full attention and showing through body language and verbal cues that you are engaged. Acknowledge the speaker, even if the topic isn't inherently interesting to you. Acknowledge the effort and emotion the speaker is sharing. A simple "I see," or "That sounds like it was important to you," can validate their feelings and encourage further sharing. Ask open-ended questions. Encouraging someone to expand on their thoughts or feelings demonstrates interest. Questions like, "What led you to that conclusion?" or "How does that impact your day-to-day life?" show that you care about understanding their perspective. Find personal connections. Sometimes reframing the conversation to find a personal angle or relate it to your own experiences can spark genuine interest. It shows empathy and creates common ground, making the interaction more engaging for both parties. Reflect on the value of each interaction. Remind yourself that every conversation is an opportunity to learn something new, gain a different perspective, or simply be there for someone. This mindset can transform "I don't care" into "I'm eager to listen." The broader benefits of engaged communication. Choosing not to dismiss others with indifference has benefits that ripple far beyond the immediate conversation. When we approach interactions with genuine curiosity and concern, we cultivate an environment of mutual respect and trust. In professional settings, this can lead to more effective teamwork, innovative ideas, and a more inclusive culture. In personal relationships, it strengthens bonds, deepens understanding, and creates a foundation of support. Furthermore, engaging attentively in conversations where we might initially feel indifferent can expand our own horizons. We often find that topics we once deemed uninteresting hold hidden depths when explored through genuine curiosity. Listening can reveal nuances, emotions, and perspectives that enhance our empathy and enrich our worldview. Stoicism teaches us that challenges to our patience and interest are opportunities in disguise, ways to practice virtues like patience, humility, and compassion, a call to embrace curiosity. By consciously avoiding phrases like "I don't care," we open ourselves up to a world of deeper connections and learning. It's not always easy to maintain interest in topics that don't immediately captivate us. But choosing respect and attentiveness over indifference can transform how others perceive and interact with us. It also reinforces our own commitment to growth and the Stoic ideals of wisdom and virtue. Next time you find yourself tempted to say "I don't care," take a moment to pause, breathe, and choose a path of engagement instead. Ask questions, listen deeply, and show genuine respect for the speaker's experience. This small shift in language not only enhances the conversation at hand, but also aligns with a mindset that values learning, empathy, and continuous self-improvement, qualities that define truly intelligent communication. Ever felt a surge of frustration when confronted with an unfair situation? It's a natural human response to lament "it's not fair." But dwelling on perceived injustice can trap us in a mindset of victimhood and stagnation. Instead of fixating on fairness, Stoic wisdom encourages us to shift our focus from what's unfair to what we can do about it, reframing "it's not fair." The phrase "it's not fair" often emerges when circumstances seem rigged against us. While acknowledging unfairness is valid, repeatedly emphasizing it can hamper our ability to respond constructively. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus taught that it's not events themselves, but our judgments about them that cause distress. By obsessing over fairness, we risk surrendering control over our reactions and wasting energy on complaints rather than solutions. When faced with a seemingly unjust situation, an alternative approach is to ask, what can I do about this? Or how can I grow from this experience? This shift in mindset doesn't deny the difficulty of the situation. Instead, it empowers us to seek actionable responses by moving our focus from why is this unfair to what can I learn here. We open the door to resilience, adaptability, and personal growth. Stoic philosophy on accepting challenges. Stoicism teaches that, while we cannot control external events, we can control our responses. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on accepting what life throws at us, weaving adversity into the fabric of our fate, while focusing on our actions within those constraints. This doesn't mean passive resignation, but rather an active engagement with the challenges, using them as opportunities to develop strength, wisdom, and virtue. Epictetus famously noted, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it, that matters." This principle reminds us that the power lies in our response. Instead of wallowing in resentment over unfairness, we can reframe our perspective. This is difficult, but how can I address it? This mindset opens up avenues for creative problem-solving and emotional resilience, transforming adversity into a catalyst for growth. Strategies for shifting from complaint to action. Acknowledge your feelings. It's okay to feel that something is unfair. Recognize your emotions without letting them overwhelm you. Accepting your feelings is the first step toward managing them constructively. Identify what you can control, instead of fixating on the unfairness, lest aspects of the situation that are within your power to change or influence. This could be your attitude, the effort you put in, or how you interact with others involved. Ask constructive questions. Replace "it's not fair" with questions like "what can I do to improve this situation?" or "how can I adapt to these circumstances?" Such questions prompt proactive thinking and reduce feelings of helplessness. Seek lessons in adversity. Every challenge carries a lesson. Reflect on past difficulties you've overcome and consider how they contributed to your growth. This perspective helps transform frustration into gratitude for the opportunity to learn and strengthen your character. Practice gratitude. Focusing on what is going well, or what you can control, even in the face of unfairness, can shift your mindset. Gratitude for small victories, or positive aspects of your life, counterbalances feelings of injustice and promotes resilience. The broader impact of a resilient mindset, when we choose to move beyond "it's not fair" and adopt a proactive stance, we not only improve our own well-being, but also influence those around us. A person who approaches challenges with curiosity and determination can inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of resilience and constructive action within their community. In personal and professional settings alike, a mindset that focuses on solutions rather than grievances fosters an environment of collaboration and innovation. Colleagues and friends feel supported when they see someone respond to adversity with calm determination and a willingness to find a way forward. This attitude can transform team dynamics, enhance problem solving, and build a culture of mutual support. Embracing the power of response. By consciously reframing our reactions to unfair situations, we exercise one of the core tenets of Stoicism, the ability to choose how we respond. As we shift from lamenting unfairness to seeking constructive paths forward, we cultivate inner strength, adaptability, and a growth-oriented mindset. This not only helps us navigate challenges more effectively, but also sets an example of thoughtful, intelligent communication and action. The next time you're faced with an injustice or a difficult circumstance, try replacing "it's not fair" with a proactive inquiry. What can I do here? Or how can I turn this challenge into an opportunity? Embracing this mindset opens the door to resilience, creativity, and continuous personal development, hallmarks of truly intelligent and Stoic-informed living. Ever been in a debate where someone bluntly declares, "You're wrong"? Such a statement can abruptly shut down conversation, stir defensiveness, and impede genuine understanding. While it may feel satisfying in the moment to assert our correctness, using "you're wrong" as a retort rarely leads to productive dialogue. Instead, Stoic wisdom guides us to embrace humility, openness, and a willingness to learn from differing perspectives. The pitfalls of saying "you're wrong." Telling someone you're wrong directly often triggers a defensive response, as it challenges their self-perception and beliefs. This confrontation can escalate into a battle of egos, rather than fostering a true exchange of ideas. When we assert someone is wrong without careful consideration, we risk closing off avenues for learning, reinforcing rigid thinking, and damaging relationships. Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca urged us to seek truth over being right. They emphasized that wisdom lies not in declaring victory in arguments, but in recognizing our own fallibility and openness to new insights. According to their teachings, an intelligent approach to disagreement involves curiosity, respectful dialogue, and a readiness to adjust one's views in light of new evidence or perspectives. A more constructive approach to disagreement, instead of shutting down a conversation by saying "you're wrong." A wiser strategy is to acknowledge the other person's perspective and gently introduce an alternative viewpoint. For example, responding with, "I see where you're coming from, but have you considered this angle?" creates space for a cooperative exploration of ideas, rather than a combative exchange. This method demonstrates respect for the other person's opinion while also expressing your own thoughts, inviting them to consider a different perspective without feeling attacked. Such an approach aligns with Stoic practices of self-examination and intellectual humility. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on how his understanding was imperfect and how others could help refine his ideas. By admitting that we might not have all the answers and being willing to learn, we foster an environment where constructive dialogue thrives. Stoic lessons on intellectual humility. Seneca reminded us that we suffer more in imagination than in reality, highlighting that our fear of being wrong often causes unnecessary suffering. The fear of making a mistake can prevent us from engaging in open discussions, where the primary goal should be learning and growth, not winning an argument. A Stoic-inspired mindset embraces uncertainty and remains open to correction, understanding that every conversation is an opportunity to gain insight, rather than a contest to prove superiority. When encountering a disagreement, consider these practical strategies. Listen actively before responding. Fully listen to the other person. Seek to understand their reasoning and the experiences that shaped their views. This not only shows respect, but also gives you a clearer picture of their perspective. Express understanding. Validate their feelings or perspective by saying things like, "I understand why you might see it that way," or "That's a valid point from your experience." Acknowledgement can pave the way for a more receptive exchange. Present your perspective gently. Frame your differing viewpoint as an addition rather than a contradiction. For instance, "I see your point, and I'd like to share another perspective that might add to our understanding." This invites conversation without negating their stance outright. Be open to being corrected. Adopt the mindset that if you discover you were mistaken, it is an opportunity for growth, not a loss of face. This attitude reinforces humility and continuous learning. Focus on the truth, not the victory. Shift the goal of the conversation from winning to uncovering deeper truths. When both parties are committed to learning rather than winning, discussions become more collaborative and enlightening. The impact of humble discourse. By replacing "you're wrong" with approaches rooted in empathy and curiosity, we foster a culture of respectful dialogue. This not only enhances our personal relationships, but can also transform professional environments, academic discussions, and everyday interactions. When individuals feel heard and respected, they are more likely to remain open to alternative viewpoints, leading to more innovative solutions and mutual understanding. Stoic philosophy encourages us to view disagreements as opportunities rather than threats. Each differing opinion is a chance to examine our own beliefs, refine our understanding, and grow intellectually. Rather than seeing someone else's perspective as a challenge to our intelligence, we can see it as a gift, a chance to learn something new and broaden our horizon, embracing a path of continuous learning. Ultimately, intelligent communication isn't about asserting dominance or being right. It's about seeking truth through thoughtful exchange, by avoiding the phrase "you're wrong," and instead engaging with humility and openness. We honor the Stoic principles of wisdom, self-improvement, and respect for others. This approach not only leads to more meaningful conversations, but also fosters an environment where everyone feels valued and motivated to share their insights. In moments of disagreement, pause before you speak, listen with empathy, and respond in a way that invites dialogue. This shift from confrontation to collaboration creates richer, more productive conversations, and helps build a more understanding, resilient community, one conversation at a time. Ever heard someone say "I can't do that" when faced with a challenge, and felt a momentary sting of discouragement? This phrase, while common, can subtly limit our potential and close off avenues for growth. Stoic philosophy invites us to reconsider such limiting language, encouraging us instead to adopt a mindset of possibility, resilience, and resourcefulness. The limiting nature of "I can't do that." Saying "I can't do that" implies a fixed mindset, a belief that our abilities and circumstances are static and unchangeable. This phrase can create a self-fulfilling prophecy, where we inadvertently trap ourselves in a cycle of inaction and doubt. When we assert our limitations without even trying, we foreclose opportunities to learn new skills, solve problems, and expand our horizons. Stoic philosophers like Seneca taught that difficulties are not barriers, but opportunities for growth. He famously observed, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." This insight suggests that our perception of impossibility often stems from our own reluctance to try, rather than from an inherent insurmountability in the task itself. Embracing a mindset of possibility, instead of resigning ourselves with "I can't do that," we can reframe our language to open up possibilities. Phrases like "I haven't figured that out yet," or "I'm still learning how to do that," acknowledge a present limitation without declaring it permanent. This subtle shift fosters a growth mindset, reminding us that skills are acquired through practice, effort, and persistence. By embracing language that reflects curiosity and determination, we transform challenges into puzzles to solve rather than insurmountable obstacles. This attitude aligns with the Stoic emphasis on focusing on what we can control, our efforts, choices, and attitudes, rather than on fixed notions of ability or destiny. Practical strategies for shifting from "I can't" to "how can I." Reframe negative statements. When you catch yourself thinking or saying "I can't do that," pause and reframe the thought. For example, replace it with "I haven't learned how to do that yet," or "This is challenging, but I can figure it out." Break down the challenge. Large tasks or skills can feel overwhelming. Break them down into smaller, manageable steps. By focusing on one step at a time, you reduce the intimidation factor and create a clear path forward. Embrace a learning mindset. Remind yourself that mastery comes from continuous learning. Even experts started as beginners, facing the same uncertainty. Emphasize the process of learning, experimenting, and improving rather than immediate perfection. Seek guidance and resources. If something seems beyond your current capabilities, look for resources, mentors, or communities that can help you learn. Asking for help or advice is not a sign of weakness, but a smart strategy to overcome hurdles. Celebrate small wins. Every step forward, no matter how small, builds confidence. Acknowledge progress and let each success fuel your belief that you can tackle the next challenge. This positive reinforcement makes the phrase "I can't" less likely to occur. The broader implications of empowering language, changing how we speak about our abilities, does more than just alter our self-talk. It transforms our entire approach to life. By avoiding "I can't do that" and embracing a mindset of "how can I do that?" or "I'm still learning," we open ourselves up to new experiences, greater resilience, and continuous improvement. This shift encourages us to see obstacles not as dead ends, but as stepping stones on our path to mastery and fulfillment. From a Stoic perspective, our power lies in our responses to external challenges rather than the challenges themselves. We may not control the difficulty of a task or the resources available, but we do control our attitude and efforts. Each time we face something we initially believe we can't do, we have a choice: surrender to that belief, or adopt a proactive stance of learning and discovery, transforming personal and professional life. In the workplace, saying "I can't do that" can limit career growth and innovation. However, when team members replace that phrase with "I'm going to figure this out," or "let's explore how we can tackle this challenge," they foster an environment of collaborative problem-solving and continuous improvement. This attitude not only enhances individual performance, but also drives collective success, as teams become more resilient, adaptable, and creative. In personal life, overcoming the "I can't" mentality enables us to pursue new hobbies, relationships, or experiences that we might have otherwise avoided. Whether learning a musical instrument, picking up a new sport, or navigating a complex social situation, believing in our capacity to learn and grow enriches our lives and expands our horizons. A Stoic commitment to growth. By consciously replacing "I can't do that" with a more empowering narrative, we align our self-talk with Stoic virtues of perseverance, courage, and continuous learning. This shift is not about ignoring genuine limitations, but about recognizing that most boundaries are not fixed, but fluid, shaped by our willingness to try, persist, and adapt. Each challenge becomes an invitation to grow rather than a statement of defeat. When we approach obstacles with curiosity and determination, we cultivate an inner resilience that bolsters our ability to handle adversity, innovate, and thrive. Through deliberate change in our language, we embark on a path of perpetual self-improvement, embodying the Stoic ideal that our greatest power lies in how we respond to life's difficulties. Next, we'll explore the implications of declaring something impossible and how to reframe our approach to seemingly unattainable goals. Continuing our journey toward smarter, more constructive communication and mindset. Ever encountered a scenario where the phrase "that's impossible" was tossed around, instantly stifling hope and discouraging creative thinking? While certain challenges may seem insurmountable at first glance, labeling them as outright impossible can prevent us from exploring innovative solutions. Stoic philosophy encourages us to approach difficulties with an open mind, curiosity, and the resilience to find a way forward. Even when the path isn't immediately clear, the weight of declaring something impossible. When we assert that something is impossible, we impose a mental barrier that limits not only our own potential, but also the possibilities for those around us. This statement often arises from a fear of failure, a reluctance to step into the unknown, or an underestimation of our capacity to adapt and learn. By closing off discussion with "that's impossible," we dismiss the opportunity to break down the problem into manageable parts, or to approach it from a different angle. Stoic thinkers like Seneca remind us that our perceptions can cloud reality. He suggested that difficulties themselves aren't what trouble us. Rather, it's our judgment about them that does. When we hastily label a challenge as impossible, we act on a fixed mindset, one that stifles growth and prevents us from exercising creativity and determination. Embracing challenges as opportunities. Instead of resigning to impossibility, we can reframe our outlook to see challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. A more constructive approach might be to say, "This is challenging, but let's explore the possibilities," or "It seems difficult, yet perhaps there's a solution we haven't considered." This shift in language encourages a problem-solving attitude, transforms obstacles into puzzles to solve, and fosters a sense of agency. By adopting this mindset, we align with the Stoic ideal of focusing on what is within our control, our thoughts, efforts, and responses. The external circumstances, however daunting, are not fixed barriers, but rather conditions we can navigate with the right approach and persistent effort. This perspective opens us to innovation and resilience, essential traits for overcoming seemingly impossible tasks. Strategies for shifting from impossible to possibility. Challenge your assumptions. When faced with a daunting task, question the underlying assumptions. Ask yourself, why do I believe this is impossible? What evidence supports this belief, and what might challenge it? Break it down. A large, complex problem can feel insurmountable. Break it into smaller, manageable parts. Tackling these incremental steps often reveals that what once seemed impossible becomes achievable through a series of smaller victories. Seek diverse perspectives. Often, our view of impossibility is limited by our own experiences and biases. Consult others who might offer new insights or alternative approaches. A fresh perspective can uncover hidden possibilities. Adopt a growth mindset. Embrace the belief that abilities and understanding can expand with effort and perseverance. Instead of "that's impossible," try saying, "I can't see how this is possible yet, but I'm going to explore ways to make it happen." Reflect on past achievements. Recall moments when you overcame challenges that initially seemed impossible. This reflection not only builds confidence, but also reinforces the idea that with resilience and creativity, you can tackle difficult problems. Stoic reflections on overcoming impossibility. Marcus Aurelius often meditated on the transient nature of difficulties, urging himself to meet obstacles as opportunities to exercise virtue and resilience. He believed that by training our minds to see adversity as a chance for growth, we become better equipped to handle life's most challenging moments. This Stoic approach doesn't deny the reality of difficulty, rather, it reinterprets it as a stage for personal development and collective innovation. When confronted with what appears to be an impossible situation, remind yourself that the label impossible is often a reflection of our current knowledge and resources, not an absolute truth. History is filled with examples where the impossible was achieved: human flight, space exploration, medical breakthroughs, of which were once deemed unattainable. These achievements began with a refusal to accept impossibility and a commitment to explore beyond known limits. The broader impact of shifting language. By replacing "that's impossible" with language that invites exploration and problem solving, we cultivate an environment where creative solutions can flourish. In team settings, this mindset encourages collaboration and mutual support as members collectively work through challenges. It prevents the spread of defeatist attitudes and maintains momentum even in the face of adversity. On a personal level, reframing impossibility nurtures resilience. Each time we confront a challenging situation with a mindset of possibility, we strengthen our ability to adapt, learn, and grow. Over time, this approach builds a habit of looking for solutions rather than fixating on barriers, leading to a more empowered and proactive way of living. A commitment to exploration and growth. Embracing the idea that nothing is truly impossible encourages continuous learning and innovation. It aligns with the Stoic practice of focusing on what we can control and letting go of rigid beliefs about our limitations. By shifting our language and mindset from one of impossibility to one of exploration and resilience, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities, where each challenge is a stepping stone toward greater wisdom and achievement. Next, we will explore how accepting things as they are, with a phrase like "that's just how it is," can hinder progress, and how a more inquisitive and proactive approach can lead to transformative change. Ever heard someone dismiss a challenging situation with a resigned, "that's just how it is"? While this phrase may seem like an acceptance of reality, it often signifies a surrender to stagnation, rather than an active pursuit of improvement. Stoic philosophy challenges us to question what we accept as given, and to seek ways to transform circumstances, rather than passively accepting them. The limitation of "that's just how it is," at first glance, "that's just how it is," can appear to acknowledge reality without resistance. However, routinely using this phrase can become a mental barrier, preventing us from questioning the status quo or seeking creative alternatives. It suggests a fixed mindset where change is seen as unattainable, rather than viewing current conditions as a starting point for improvement. This resignation can stifle innovation, discourage proactive problem-solving, and lead to a cycle of complacency. Stoic thinkers, including Epictetus, emphasized that while we may not control external events, we do control our perceptions and responses. Accepting something as unchangeable without question limits our capacity to influence it. Instead of resigning ourselves to circumstances, the Stoics urge us to adopt a perspective that focuses on what can be done to improve them, however small the steps might be. Shifting from acceptance to inquiry, rather than settling with "that's just how it is." A more constructive approach is to ask, is that truly the only way things can be? This simple question opens the door to inquiry and innovation. It invites us to explore alternatives, challenge assumptions, and envision better possibilities. By refusing to accept things as unchangeable, we foster a mindset of curiosity and agency. For example, in a workplace setting where outdated processes are the norm, saying "that's just how it is" might discourage efforts to implement new technologies or methods. Instead, questioning the status quo can lead to improvements. Is there a way we can streamline this process? What changes could make this more efficient? This approach not only addresses immediate inefficiencies, but also encourages a culture where continuous improvement is valued. The role of Stoicism in overcoming resignation. Stoicism teaches that while we cannot control every external event, we can always control our attitudes and actions in response. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the importance of seeing obstacles as opportunities to exercise virtue and creativity. When confronted with a situation that seems unchangeable, the Stoic perspective encourages us to focus on our responses, seeking ways to adapt, improve, or influence the situation rather than accepting it passively. By replacing resignation with curiosity, we align with Stoic ideals of resilience and adaptability. Rather than saying "that's just how it is," we might say, "I wonder how I can approach this differently," or "what steps can I take to improve this situation?" Such language reflects an active engagement with life, a refusal to be boxed in by perceived limitations, and a commitment to personal and collective growth. Practical steps to break free from "that's just how it is." Question the status quo. Regularly challenge assumptions that things cannot change. Ask yourself, why do I believe this is unchangeable, and what evidence supports or contradicts this belief? Seek alternatives. When faced with a frustrating circumstance, brainstorm multiple ways to address it. Even if immediate change isn't possible, exploring options can reveal new avenues for improvement over time. Adopt a problem-solving mindset. Focus on what you can influence. Instead of accepting a limitation, identify small actions you can take to make a difference. Each step forward can lead to cumulative change. Encourage a culture of inquiry. In group settings, invite others to share their thoughts on how things could be done differently. Collective brainstorming can break down the inertia that often accompanies "that's just how it is." Celebrate incremental changes. Recognize and appreciate small improvements. Celebrating progress reinforces the belief that change is possible and motivates continued effort. The transformative power of inquiry. By moving beyond the resignation embedded in "that's just how it is," we open ourselves up to transformative change. This shift doesn't mean ignoring reality or accepting everything without critique. Rather, it means approaching life with a mindset that seeks improvement, innovation, and growth. When we challenge the notion that circumstances are fixed, we liberate ourselves from the constraints of complacency and create space for creative solutions to emerge. In every aspect of life, personal relationships, career, community, questioning accepted norms and seeking better ways of doing things leads to progress. It invites us to imagine new possibilities, engage with problems actively, and contribute to building a world that reflects our highest values. Embracing curiosity over resignation aligns with Stoic teachings, reinforcing our capacity to shape our lives through thoughtful action and a resilient spirit. Next, we will explore the impact of attributing success to luck, with phrases like "you're lucky," and how recognizing effort and hard work can foster a culture of empowerment and growth. Ever heard someone say "you're lucky" as a response to success or achievement? While meant as a compliment, this phrase can inadvertently diminish the hard work, persistence, and skill that led to the accomplishment. By attributing success merely to luck, we overlook the dedication and preparation behind it, and potentially discourage a mindset of effort and growth. Stoic philosophy encourages us to recognize the role of perseverance and intentional action in shaping outcomes, rather than relying on chance alone. The subtle downsides of "you're lucky." Telling someone "you're lucky" may seem like a positive remark, but it can carry unintended implications. It suggests that success is due to fortune rather than effort, skill, or strategic decision-making. This perspective can undermine the value of hard work and lead to a belief that outcomes are out of our control, reducing motivation to strive for improvement or to help others achieve similar success through their own efforts. From a Stoic viewpoint, luck is not a mystical force that arbitrarily grants success. Instead, Seneca reminds us that luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. This insight highlights the interplay between diligent preparation and seizing the moment. Rather than attributing success solely to luck, acknowledging the work behind it reinforces a proactive and empowering mindset, a more empowering alternative. Instead of saying "you're lucky," a more affirming and constructive response would focus on the effort and choices that led to the success. For instance, saying "you must have worked really hard for that," or "your dedication really paid off," recognizes the individual's commitment and perseverance. This not only validates their experience, but also emphasizes that their success was attainable through effort and preparation, inspiring others to adopt a similar approach. By shifting our language, we encourage a culture where effort is celebrated and seen as the foundation for achievement. This aligns with Stoic teachings that emphasize virtue, discipline, and the power of deliberate action. Recognizing the process behind success reinforces the idea that while chance may play a role, it is our preparation, choices, and resilience that truly shape outcomes. Strategies for cultivating an effort-focused mindset. Acknowledge hard work. When witnessing someone's achievement, ask about the journey, the challenges they overcame, and the strategies they employed. This not only honors their effort, but also provides valuable insights that can motivate and guide others. Share stories of perseverance. Encourage discussions that highlight the process of learning, stumbling, and eventually succeeding. Stories that emphasize persistence and growth help shift the focus away from luck and toward the factors within one's control. Reflect on your own efforts. When you experience success, take a moment to reflect on the preparation and hard work it took to get there. Recognize your role in creating your opportunities, and view setbacks as learning experiences rather than failures. Encourage a growth mindset in others. Instead of attributing someone's success to luck, inspire them to continue building their skills and to approach future challenges with the same dedication. Ask questions like "what strategies worked well for you?" or "how did you overcome obstacles along the way?" Promote a culture of responsibility in team settings. Emphasize that while external factors can influence outcomes, the choices and efforts of individuals largely determine success. This fosters a sense of ownership and encourages a collaborative effort to prepare for future opportunities. Stoic wisdom on effort and opportunity. The Stoics believed that, while we can't control every circumstance, we can control our responses and preparations. By framing success as the result of persistent effort, meeting opportunity, we embrace a philosophy of empowerment and resilience. This perspective not only honors the hard work behind achievements, but also motivates continuous self-improvement and the pursuit of excellence. Imagine a community where praise focuses on preparation and perseverance, rather than mere luck. Such an environment nurtures ambition, resilience, and a collective drive to improve. people become more inclined to take initiative, learn from failures, and support each other in overcoming obstacles, creating a positive feedback loop of growth and achievement. Embracing effort over luck. By consciously choosing language that highlights hard work and preparation, we align ourselves with a Stoic mindset that values virtue, discipline, and continuous learning. Replacing "you're lucky" with acknowledgments of effort not only uplifts those around us, but also reinforces our own commitment to intentional action and growth. Next, we'll explore another common self-limiting phrase, "I'm not good at that," and how reorienting our self-talk from fixed limitations to a growth mindset can open new paths for learning and development. Ever caught yourself or someone else uttering the phrase, "I'm not good at that"? This statement often signals a fixed mindset, where abilities are seen as innate and unchangeable. However, truly intelligent and growth-oriented individuals understand that skills are not static. They can be developed with effort, practice, and time. Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on continuous self-improvement and resilience, offers a powerful perspective on transforming this limiting statement into an opportunity for growth. The pitfall of "I'm not good at that." Declaring "I'm not good at that" implies a finality to one's abilities, closing the door to learning and improvement. This mindset can create self-imposed limitations, preventing us from pursuing new challenges or refining our skills. When we believe our capabilities are fixed, we miss opportunities to expand our knowledge and adapt to changing circumstances. Stoic thinkers remind us that life is a constant process of learning, and that every skill begins as something we are not yet proficient in. Stoic wisdom on learning and growth. Stoicism teaches that every new beginning comes from the end of some other beginning. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the transient nature of his own knowledge, acknowledging that he was always a work in progress. The Stoics emphasized humility and the recognition that no matter how much we know, there is always room for growth. This perspective discourages the defeatist attitude of "I'm not good at that," and encourages a mindset of "I'm still learning," or "I can improve with practice." Seneca once noted that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. By imagining that we are inherently bad at something, we often create unnecessary mental barriers that hinder progress. Instead of fixating on a perceived lack of talent, we should focus on the process of learning, acknowledging that mastery is achieved through perseverance and deliberate effort. Reframing "I'm not good at that," rather than resigning ourselves with "I'm not good at that," we can reframe the statement in a way that keeps the door open for growth. Phrases like "I'm still learning" or "I have room to improve" reflect a commitment to development and acknowledge that skills evolve over time. This subtle change in language shifts our mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility and continuous improvement. Practical strategies to embrace a growth mindset. Adopt a beginner's attitude. Accept that not being good at something is the first step toward becoming proficient. Every expert was once a novice, and acknowledging that learning is a journey can reduce fear of failure and encourage practice. Seek feedback and guidance. Instead of avoiding tasks because you feel unskilled, ask for constructive feedback or seek mentorship. Understanding areas for improvement and gaining new techniques can accelerate learning and build confidence. Break skills into manageable steps. Complex skills can be overwhelming when viewed as a whole. Break them down into smaller, achievable tasks. Celebrate small victories along the way to reinforce progress and maintain motivation. Reflect on progress. Keep a journal or mental note of improvements over time. By regularly reflecting on what you've learned, you build evidence against the belief that you're inherently not good at something. This reinforces the idea that capability grows with effort. Cultivate patience and resilience. Learning takes time. Embrace setbacks as integral parts of the learning process rather than as definitive proof of inadequacy. Each challenge is an opportunity to develop resilience and refine your approach. The transformative impact of a growth mindset. By replacing "I'm not good at that" with a mindset of ongoing growth, We align ourselves with Stoic virtues of perseverance, humility, and self-improvement. This perspective not only broadens our skills, but also enriches our personal and professional lives, making us more adaptable, creative, and resilient. When we acknowledge that our current limitations are not permanent, we free ourselves from self-imposed boundaries. This openness leads to more fulfilling experiences, stronger relationships, and a greater capacity to overcome challenges. Instead of being deterred by a skill gap, we become excited by the potential for growth. Understanding that mastery is a continuous journey rather than a fixed destination. Embracing this approach transforms how we view obstacles and setbacks. They become stepping stones on a path of lifelong learning, each one offering a chance to gain wisdom and improve. In doing so, we embody the Stoic ideal of focusing on what is within our control, our efforts, attitudes, and dedication to learning, leading to a more empowered and enlightened way of living. As we reach the culmination of our exploration into how truly intelligent people communicate, it's time to reflect on the journey through these transformative insights. By consciously avoiding limiting phrases and embracing language rooted in Stoic wisdom, we not only refine our communication, but also cultivate a mindset of continuous growth, empathy, and resilience. Reflecting on the journey. Throughout this series, we examined 10 common phrases that can inadvertently hinder personal growth and meaningful dialogue. From dismissive remarks like, "I already know that," or "I don't care," to self-limiting statements such as, "I can't do that," or "I'm not good at that." Each phrase was analyzed through the lens of Stoic philosophy. We learned that these seemingly innocuous words can close doors to learning, shut down opportunities for connection, and restrict our perception of what's possible. By replacing these expressions with open-ended questions, empathetic responses, and a growth-oriented mindset, we align our speech with virtues like humility, perseverance, and intellectual openness. This shift not only transforms individual conversations, but also contributes to building a culture of respect, collaboration, and continuous improvement in every facet of life. The transformative power of thoughtful language. The power of thoughtful language lies in its ability to shape our reality. Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca taught that our words reflect our inner attitudes and have far-reaching effects on our character and the world around us. By choosing language that invites curiosity, nurtures empathy, and emphasizes possibility, we foster resilience and wisdom within ourselves and our communities. This journey isn't about attaining perfection in speech overnight. It's about persistent self-awareness and gradual change. Each time we pause to reconsider our words, replace a limiting phrase, or ask a constructive question, we take a step toward becoming more thoughtful communicators and more adaptable, enlightened individuals. A commitment to lifelong growth. Intelligent communication is not an endpoint, but an ongoing practice. It involves consistently reevaluating our language and mindset, learning from each interaction, and remaining open to new perspectives. The Stoic path emphasizes that every challenge or conversation is an opportunity for growth, whether it's learning from a disagreement, offering genuine help, or reframing a setback as a lesson. As you move forward, remember that the essence of Stoic wisdom is to focus on what is within your control, your thoughts, actions, and words. Embrace each moment as a chance to practice patience, kindness, and resilience. Let go of the urge to dismiss, complain, or declare impossibility, and instead choose language that empowers both you and those around you. In the spirit of Marcus Aurelius, take a moment to reflect on the beauty of thoughtful communication. Consider how each carefully chosen word can contribute to a more compassionate, resilient, and connected life. As you encounter future conversations, whether challenging or uplifting, draw upon the principles we've discussed to navigate them with wisdom and grace. May the insights from Stoic philosophy continue to guide you in shaping not only your words but also your actions and attitudes. In doing so, you'll not only speak more intelligently, but also live more meaningfully. inspiring others on their own paths of growth and enlightenment.